Good.
All right. So we are live. Yay. Welcome to another collaborative conversation. I am Latricia Penny, and our special guest is Miss. I am not going to try to pronounce your last name, Gabby. I've known you forever, and I've just known you as Gabby.
Yeah, it's Umanzor.
A Monsor. Monsor.
Umanzor.
Ooh,
Yeah,
Monsor. Yeah.
Umanzor. It's almost
Um,
like Monstera or um like you know how you say Monstera? That's the best way to
uh-huh.
explain it. Or even dinosaur. Like
Mm-hmm.
I always have to say like people like the end is like
Monsor.
or yeah
Yeah. Oh, nice. Okay.
Umanzor.
So we
This is
have a few people joining. So thank you all for all that are tuning in. We had a little bit of technical difficulties in the background, so we're hoping that this stays on. So, and we're gonna just go ahead and get started. So if you are ready, Gabby,
yeah.
can you tell everyone a little bit about yourself and what you do?
So I'm obviously a mother. This is my
Uh
4-year-old. We're gonna see him pop in and out. This is Irie. So I
huh.
am a mother. I am a queer parent.
Uh-huh.
I am a community health worker.
Hmm.
I'm a social worker in the making.
Okay.
Um, yeah, I have been in and out of school for a while because I had Irie. But I
Hmm.
am a Charlotte native, so here to our beautiful Queen City, born and raised
Okay.
on the East Side, Plaza. It's Plaza and I think Extension and Eastway.
Okay.
Um, so right where they intersect, right before you get towards like you know how you keep going on Plaza Extension, and
Uh-huh.
there is I think I think it's North Tryon. You go and
Hmm.
then I think it's North Tryon, or
Yeah.
maybe there might be before North Tryon. Um, but yeah, right around there.
Uh-huh.
If you've ever been to IPH, so
Hmm.
I am a poet. I'm a writer. I feel like I am a storyteller, almost like a cultural worker too.
Uh-huh.
Um, yeah, I
Yeah.
am Latina. You know, I'm. Uh, yeah, I think that's the best way to explain who I am.
Yeah. So you are open in expressing yourself in all the ways that you desire.
Yes, yes. I think very fluid. I think the best way to explain myself or kind of my experience has been like I feel almost like I have a tie to water almost, right?
Uh-huh.
Very fluid,
Mm-hmm.
and you can kind of change your shape and form. You know, you put it in a cup or a vase,
Yeah. Yeah. Or it freezes or it melts or
or it freezes, or it melts.
evaporates and then turns into something else and like all of the good stuff that comes with water.
Yep. Yeah, all the good and annoying stuff. Hail,
We just
the
I gotta
snow.
keep it.
Yeah.
Nice, nice. So out of all of those things, what would you say? Because I know you can't really put yourself into one, but if you were say, what's your more serious side of what you do, and what's your more playful side of what you do?
I think the most more serious side is if we're talking about kind of like I think either my personality or character, like who I am,
Mm-hmm.
um, I think it is. Mm, maybe I'll start with my career. So career wise, the more serious side, and it kind of plays into just like I get my philosophy on the world, the
Mm-hmm.
very almost radical idea, which I feel like is very serious and
Uh-huh.
also playful, but very serious is kind of I don't know, like I just tend to basically my philosophy is essentially that kind of like when you go to school you realize, right, especially for social work, is like one of the fundamental like the just is understanding anyone and everyone can be serviced, anyone and
Mm-hmm.
anyone and everyone could be changed
Right.
or touched. I think like emotionally, mentally, like you're able to show vulnerability. Maybe that's the best way to explain it. So tangential rant over. I think it's my vulnerability. That's like the seriousness. The vulnerability leads to compassion
Mm-hmm.
and humanity. I think it's like I wear my heart on my sleeve so you can see me and know that I am not to be feared and to be trusted. And kind of the most difficult part. It's really hard. It really is serious because I think, whether you're dating, whether you're trying to make friends, if you go out in public and you approach a stranger at a bar, you just go like, hey, how are you? Right? You're vulnerable. You're putting yourself out there, and it can be really scary. And it is serious because people are like, oh, like, you say hi to people.
Yeah, it may be a little different, because some people don't speak, or some
They,
people don't know how to see
it's very
people.
manufactured, like it's very
Uh-huh.
manufactured. It's very strategic, or it has to be overly thought of. But I think for me, it's that serious part. I've often got that both in my work and in my personal life, and the many different facets. Is just how I think present I can be, or I try to be with other people. And I think it's again something that I think part of it is innate, but also part of it is that has been nurtured through many people who essentially led, like by example. And then I think the softest part is, or like the more playful is, I think, yeah, it's like a double-edged sword, that vulnerability, that kind of, because I'm able to laugh at myself. Take myself far. Sometimes you seriously, I think that's the thing is like the philosophy of it to me, kind of like my life is I'm not the most important person in the world. And so there is freedom in that. There's freedom and seriousness in that, right? Because to others, read it as like, I can't trust you because you're too overly nice, or everything with you is like words, right? Or wow, you just won't give up. With the work that I do, we have to connect people to resources, and I mean, I exhaust myself until I can't anymore because I'm like, and I'm honest with the people. I'm like, there's so many limitations, but I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try. And people go, oh, give up, please, or And so it is playful. But then if I make a mistake, I laugh at myself. Others laugh at me. I'm inviting them to laugh with me, not at me, but with me.
Right. I think everything ends up being a lot lighter when you do that. And it gives other people sometimes permission to let their guard down and to be able to laugh at some of the things that, that are serious, or errors that they may make. I know the same thing with myself. Like that was one of the bigger thing, is to like not take myself so serious and be able to laugh at, like, ooh, wow, that really didn't go over well,
Right? I mean, I think there have been many times where I think the more recent playful, kind of less serious was I was with a group of friends. It was a spontaneous night. We went out. We were at Common Market, which is a little kind of rinky-dink dive bar market kind of vibe. And we were talking about someone we knew. And I was like, oh, I know that person, this person. And I think I gave a piece of information and it was an observation. It was an assumption. So I was like, I think that person, and it wasn't until the night after, or the day after, that I was speaking to my friend. We were debriefing about it, how fun it was, how great it was, that I had come across someone's page. I was like, oh, that's the person I was talking about. And it clicked. I was like, oh my God, I got these two people like mixed up. I was like, oh, my friends are gonna think that I was, spreading a rumor. And in actuality, I legitimately thought that this name was attached to that person.
Right.
I don't know why. And I was so embarrassed. But then we laughed about it, me and them. And then my friend, I told them, and they're like, oh, you thought that person was this? Oh, no, girl.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my God. And my anxiety, wants to go overboard because it's like assassination of your character. Like, God, they're going to, and I'm like, girl, it's not about you. Again, I'm not the most important person. It literally doesn't matter. They didn't even remember. Nobody cares. It's fine.
And they didn't know.
Yeah.
In all fairness, they didn't even know.
They were just like, oh, okay. Like, it was like believable enough, kind of. All right. Yeah, sure. And I was like, oh.
Yeah. Oh, so cool. So if you were a book, what would the title of your book be and why?
That's a very. Do people often get stumped at this question? Because I feel like this is the one that I feel like I would love to have witnessed or seen some of other folks, kind of like responses to how quickly. Because I'm like, you guys, like, I feel like you're on it. Me, I'm like, huh.
Well, okay, so I'm used to asking the questions. So, and I also give room for it may shift or change, or that's the
About
whole, like you can shift or change it. Some people, come up with something and like they may have to think for a minute because this is one of the questions where they're just like,
yeah.
if I
Huh.
were to,
Like,
Well,
You're
yeah.
not often asked that. Yeah, you're not often asked that. We were like, if I wrote a book, and it was very interesting. I went to a workshop where we were talking about books and like what you would write, um, but not really about us. It was more like, oh, just write generally, like write.
Right.
Me, I'm trying to think. Maybe God, there was something I thought of just now, and I just lost it. I don't know. I'm sure somebody's already written it, but probably like body of water.
Okay.
So I
Um,
keep going back to that. Like it's something I've thought about a lot. I'm not sure why, but body of water.
and for kind of like what you were explaining before, that it has like all of the good and being fluid and being able to change
I
and
think,
adapt
yeah,
to whatever, like, because if anything is in the pathway, it just moves, you know.
yeah. I think that's actually honestly body of water. Yeah.
Yeah.
It kind of best I think describes me and kind of my life experience. Like whether it's a book of maybe a memoir or autobiography or even a poetry, like
Uh-huh.
works of you know.
Hmm.
Um, I feel like you have to be as fluid as water, especially as parents. And I know you can
Hmm.
definitely, what do you say?
I learned to be better. I can't say that I was a body of water initially. I don't even know if
I
I'm a body of
swear.
water. But I think it gets better over time, and it's just an experience that you get to be in the front seat of, you know, um, of assisting
Yeah.
with cultivating someone else.
I love that that was actually a very beautiful way of saying, yeah. I think that's the best way to explain,
Hmm.
perhaps, anything is it is
Yeah.
it just an assistant and somebody cultivating themselves.
Hmm.
You're just kind of like oftentimes I think like the way I picture it is when you go bowling and you have the safeguards,
Yes.
you like the safeguard, and they can put you down, pull it up, when they need you, they'll be like, I need you, and they need it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's a really good example. And we do have some comments, and I think that was when your darling son, yeah, was on here. So someone said, "Who's that little booger peeking out the corner?" Is that Jenna?
Oh, yep.
Okay, and Bayla stated, "Oh my God, all." So, and if there's any comments as we go along, please put them in the comment. Um, our next question is, can you think of someone or something that's had a really, really big impact on you over a short period of time?
The quickest answer is Irie, but the if I want to be very honest, and I think like recently, I want to say recent, because there
Hmm.
have been a lot of, I mean, short interactions with people that have just like stunned me.
Okay.
Um, I'd say it is. God, there's two people I'm thinking of, and I'm like,
What
which one?
just
I
do
think
both. What about the
so
situation? Yeah, or the
one of
experience?
my friend, yeah, my friend Ariana. I think my friend Ariana. We had recently been getting much closer,
Hmm.
and um, it's been a very transformative kind of experience, and in such a short time, very compacted.
Uh-huh.
Um, I think it's the way that she's able to express herself and articulate,
Hmm.
her thoughts and her ideas. It's something that I think has, and even I think mainly we've had interactions where I've seen a level of grace. And then another one is my friend Courtney, who in a short time we've gotten close together. And I think
Yeah.
we were speaking about relationships, and it was the first time we'd ever hung out alone without our children because we met through Irie's
Hmm.
daycare. And so in both of those kind of friendships, it's like two people who I wouldn't say you minimized or you kind of like you didn't think they were smart or you didn't think they were it was more so like there was a level of either grace or maybe
Hmm.
even something that's so deeply profound that you're like, this is something that you would read in a self-help book and you would go,
Uh-huh.
wow. Like you go, my goodness, I see why this is the New York Times bestseller.
Uh-huh.
I mean, it was just like a level of kindness and a perception that I just, a lot of people that come to me, they go, wow, you're so like, I'm like, I don't know. I feel kind of narrow minded. And I
Hmm.
heard that and I'm like, oh my God, this is probably the closest I'll ever get to like Jesus himself. Like it was so profound, some of the things that they've said recently. And it
Hmm.
was so quick and brief, because maybe we hung out for like maybe 20 minutes, maybe 30 minutes, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, wow, that's wonderful. I'm happy I experienced that. I was like, I wish I could have
Right.
had a mic and been like, say that louder, like on a
Yeah.
boombox. It's
Well,
just, I think it challenged me is what it is. It's challenged me, and it's just what they've said have just, it's kind of just been in the back of my head. Like I cannot get rid of it. I'm like, wow.
mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And that's nice that you have, and that you've been open to the transformative experience of the dialogue, with someone else. Because,
It,
just being open, or like you said, sometimes it does happen unexpectedly, with people, and you just have this a different kind of connection where it's the right time for you to hear what, and you're open enough
yeah,
to hear
yeah,
whatever is being said.
yeah. Sometimes I get so fearful that I'm not, because I think kind of like introspectively where I'm like, where are times where I wasn't able to receive something that I think
Mm-hmm.
I really could have benefited from receiving. And I'm always scared, like, I hope I never close myself off to the different features of love, even if they feel like bad. And so in a moment like
Mm-hmm.
that, I was like, so grateful that I experienced it. It's just, you know, seeing how other people view the world and you know, I don't know, like it's just something I feel like a professor would have said that I'm like, wow, you'd
Mm-hmm.
be a great therapist or you'd be a great like, coach or counselor.
Yeah. But I'm quite sure that it was, more mutual as well, because I'm sure, like, I've known you a little over the years, and, you definitely have, a captivating spirit, and you're extremely passionate about a lot, about the things that you believe in, and so,
Yeah,
um,
yeah,
and that's conveyed with anybody who meets you or talks to you for any length of time. They're going to know that you feel a way about whatever the thing is. They're going to know where you stand. They're going to know that you're also open to listen, and that you care. And I've noticed an openness with you. So there's
I
that
appreciate
too.
you saying that. Thank you for sharing that. No, that's what I'm saying. It's always very I'm not I don't know if often people tell you maybe similar things or when
Hmm.
someone observes like aspects of yourself or actions or
Hmm.
like different values, and it's always interesting when someone else like will pull something because I always have a set kind of what someone says, tell us about yourself. You're like, I'm a very passionate person, like, okay, cool. um but some people in the past have like described me as creative, and I to
Hmm.
my creative.
Okay, you should have known that with that list that you gave, at the beginning. Oh,
um,
tell me about yourself. Oh, I do this and I do that.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. But
You know.
it's I wouldn't think you know what I mean? It's the
Yeah.
way it's again, it goes back to like I feel like I'm more receptive by thinking like I'm not the most important person in the world, but
Hmm.
there's like again, it's like it's this beautiful thing where it's like it makes me feel even more important or
Hmm.
more valuable,
Yeah.
valued
Yeah.
because it takes this pressure off of having to perform
Hmm.
a version of myself that I want to be like so badly kind of thing. It's something that I struggled with a lot as a teenager and as an
Hmm.
adult where I just like kind of embraced. And
Hmm.
so when I hear things like that, it like hits my heart and I'm like, oh, like, wow, that's so nice that someone views me that way. And that I'm
Hmm.
like, I could see that. Like I do see that. Wow.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, you know what? Yeah, I am captivating. Huh. It's humble. It's not very like, I'm sure you come across people who can kind of be abrasive or come off with a very like a bravado, right?
Hmm.
Which I don't think
Hmm.
is bad, but some people will maybe take that and they'll be like, "Oh, that was kind of negative." Like, "Oh." Um so
Well,
learning how to accept compliments more.
that's what I was going to say. It's okay to accept, and it's okay to be like, because we're all interconnected to a certain degree. It's not necessarily so much about you not being, the most important, but that you do have a value that helps other. Like, we're all
Exactly.
here to
Yeah.
connect and, kind of help each other out in different ways. And some people are really great at one thing, some people are really great at something else.
But another,
Like,
yeah.
we all have our spaces, and just to be open to, like, even in the space that you're in, especially with being in a helping space, that there are going to be a lot of people who appreciate what you do, because not everybody, I'm not going to say has the capability, that's not everybody's strong suit, you know.
Yeah, I'll say that. Yeah, you'll meet there are plenty of stories I have where I'm, hey, the case console, and this person is like, couldn't give any.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, it's that question.
Right.
You're like, why are you in this profession? How long have you been here? Maybe the
You
years have hardened you.
and sometimes that does happen with being in that profession. Is you may have an idea, but then the system may have a different idea,
Oh
and
yeah. Oh yeah.
yeah.
Oh
And
yeah.
sometimes you could start out a certain way, and if you're not careful, you can end up succumbing to the pressure of I'll for lack of a better term, I'll say minimalism.
Mm. Honestly, that was very like right on the nose. It is sad. No, it is definitely sad. I think that's another thing is it's I find in this field mainly I bump into so many folks who, you know, through essentially through the effects of like capitalism and late fascism, like you see people are very just, you know, what is it? Like you get grinded down enough, worn down enough,
Uh-huh.
and you're
Yeah.
really, really smooth stone. You know, the
Hmm.
stone, it's not a rock anymore. And I feel like almost
Yeah.
like the rock and the bumps is what makes you so beautiful and amazing because you're so impassioned and you like get smooth enough where it's like, oh,
Hmm.
you let anything slide, anything happen.
Right.
Just sad.
Yeah. But who knows? Maybe seeing the excitement or the passion sometimes does ignite other people as well. So we don't
I
know.
Yeah, yeah.
So, what would you consider important characteristics or qualities to have in friendships and or relationships?
Um, Humility. I think I always say this.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely strive to be to have humility and not in the ways where I think people oftentimes when they think about humbleness or humility, they cross that boundary because I know I've had that where humility kind of crosses into um, self-deprecation.
Mm-hmm.
And they're not really the same. You can tell the difference. Like it's like vulnerability, humility. Like you're
Yeah.
like to me humility and vulnerability it's like you're able again to laugh at it like it's enough like towards the end where um your partner says something, they do something and you're able to like I don't know, you guys handle it how you do, but basically like if somebody brings you like I feel upset, you've hurt me, that you're able to you know
Here.
receive it and hear
Yeah.
it. And part of that
Mm-hmm.
too looks like I'm not you have to be like a little bit willing. Like I'm not receptive right now. I can understand that. I think that's another thing where it's like knowing your limitations.
Yeah.
You're all people. Like your friends are gonna say some messed up things. And I think
Mm-hmm.
right now with the way that the world has been kind of going, the way most people have been navigating for a while, has been on like checks and balances or like it's a zero sum game, our friendships and our
Mm-hmm.
relationships. And I know I struggle a lot. Like there's that some of my closest friends have said where and we've even talked about these things like one on one where I'm like, that
Mm-hmm.
just has stuck with me and it's hurt because it hit like a deep wound. And
Right.
this person didn't intend to. But
Right.
again, impact over intent. And so something I've loved that my friends have shown me, all of them, like whether it's like mutuals, associates, coworkers,
Mm-hmm.
friends, best friends, close friends, is um they've been really vulnerable and they've had enough like humility where they're like, they come back to me and they're like, I didn't really handle that best, honestly. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, oh my God, thank you, because I also didn't. I'm gonna be
Uh-huh.
honest, you're right. You said this earlier. I'm really angry, but like I can't lie, like you're really right. And so the conversations
Uh-huh.
are much more than that, but it's
Yeah.
actually, I think the problem is that again there's like a level of performance where everyone wants that deep relationship so quick, but nobody really understands that. And I don't think nobody wants to. I don't think that's what it is. I think people do have a resistance because really what it is fear. It's trauma responses. You might have like, you know, eh, something triggers an emotion and it overcomes you. And
Mm-hmm.
so it's a lot of patience. I think it's a lot of patience and tolerance. So patience, tolerance, humility, vulnerability, like those are muscles you got to work because you have to work it to
Yeah.
be around other people in your day-to-day life. You can't keep cursing at the person who cuts you off in traffic. I'm sorry. I know it feels good. I'm there with you, but like it wears down on you. I'm serious. It's like little interactions like that. I mean,
Uh-huh.
makes you kind of wonder how you react to your dog, how you react to your child, how you react to your coworker, your partner, your friend. Um, because I think people so often, like, and I'm sure you can relate, it's this idea where my friend hurt me and it's enough that I want to hurt them back. Not everyone goes there. Not everyone's mind goes there, but for the majority of people, when you go online, you see people having all these debates and discourses on relationships, and the biggest thing is like, well, this person didn't say the exact right, and I'm like, there are ways, yes, that we need to talk to each other with compassion, take a
Mm-hmm.
beat, yeah, like when
Yeah.
you get offended, like, and I don't mean offended as in something that is violent or dehumanizing, but you
Yeah.
know
Mm-hmm.
well, you spent that much money, like, why would you do that? Like, if you feel that someone critiqued you, judged you, it's enough to say, like, I think in friendships and relationships to say, hey, I'm not gonna lie, that really did hurt me, and I would like to talk about that, but and if you see your limitation, you're like, this is where I draw the line right now. I need to take a moment. I need to go think about this.
Mm-hmm.
I think especially with friendships, especially with friendships. I think in friendships, like, it's a dying art, and it's something that I see people reviving. I do see it,
Mm-hmm.
but it's something sad because you'll hear the comments of people who say, like, um my it's very common for people to put essentially their partner as the
Mm-hmm.
center of the world, and so you'll have more patience and tolerance and work that muscle, but when it comes to your friends, if this person
Yeah,
didn't go
that's
to
a
my
lot.
birthday party, yeah,
Yeah.
in Miami, I'm gonna cut him off, and no, when
Yeah.
we go to the Miami, I'm gonna cut him off, and oh, you didn't wish my dog a happy birthday, I'm cutting you off. Oh, you said
Mm-hmm.
one bad joke, I'm gonna cut you off because I'm gonna assassinate you. I'm like, and I've been there. I've been there. I've definitely been there. And then, like, through years
Mm-hmm.
of friendship, kind of like realized, I'm like, well, am I trying to cultivate like some kind of like wax figure of sorts? Like, am I trying to
Yeah.
create like a sculpture, or am I just trying to like live? Because these are people,
Yeah.
they're not perfect. Also, I don't want perfection. I don't strive for perfection.
Mm-hmm.
And like, if I truly love these folks, like my friends, like
Right.
especially my partner, I'm like, and it's something I think I realized also through being a parent, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I cannot, and I'm sure you can relate to this. I cannot. One of the biggest things that I think is helped me a lot is just like, you don't get to control the narrative, the perception, the experience your child has with the other parent. You just do not. It doesn't matter how much you
Right.
take, or how
Mm-hmm.
much you sacrifice. So it's like that, where it's just like a lot of letting go and a lot of just kind of like yeah, just like tolerance. Because I'm like, yeah, people are gonna say things that I find annoying, but
Mm-hmm.
honestly, I also find them so hilarious. Like, you're so annoying, but you're so funny, and I love you. Like,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I can't throw you in jail for being annoying, you know? It's not, I can't, it's not I can't condemn you for that. The rest of the
Mm-hmm.
world won't.
Well, I think it's nice to hear you talk about the reviving of friendship and taking the time to look at those elements that, like you said, if something does hit a space and you are, I don't really like saying the word trigger, but we're going to just go ahead and use it. But if it hits a space where you're sensitive in, to take the time to figure out what was that about, because I know when I was younger and I was a lot more hot headed. That
I
when
can relate.
things,
Oh yeah. I'm
when
still I could still get me.
so when things would hit a space, and I would respond with the energy of all of the things that it hit, as opposed to what was going on in the moment. Because, like, if you kind of separate the thing from the emotion, it's like, is this really worth whatever emotion I'm putting into it, or not?
It's
Or is it me, or is it them, or do we have
Is
to
it an
find a
isolated incident, or is this a
yeah,
recurrence? Is this,
yeah,
even if this is a pattern, like, where is it coming from? How often
right,
do I feel it?
right,
Like, do I feel this? Am I constantly on edge? Like, I think it's
hmm,
one of those things where you're in danger, and the best tool and the number one teller is like your intuition. Like, you do
right,
know,
hmm,
right? And I mean, you explained it really well. Like, I definitely have been hot headed or impulsive or quick, and I have to ask myself, like, where was I?
yeah,
Where was that person? And so
hmm,
I've definitely I mean, I've been always in therapy since I was a kid, so I'm like,
hmm,
I'm really thankful for it because it's certainly given me the ability to understand just, you know, I guess the reality of relationships is exactly that. It's like,
yeah,
what can I take and what can I let go? Right? Like,
Yeah.
is this something that I really cannot, and it's not even like I can't let go, but it's like, no, this has really hurt me. And it's
Mhm.
not that I'm choosing, but it's like, that's just that feeling and that emotion. And you're right. It's like, for lack of a better word, it sucks to say trigger, but it's also just, yeah, if you've already got a soft spot and it just pierced it,
Mhm.
you're having to separate it where you're like, okay, well, this is true, right? I've gone through that. That experience is real, but
Mhm.
this person obviously, and I think something I've learned that my partner's helped me learn a lot is precisely been just always assume good intention first. And a
Mhm.
previous partners of mine have always said that you always assume the worst intent in me, and I'm
Mhm.
like, that's me, that's not
Mhm.
them. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, and I bring that to every friendship, and I don't want to say I hate it, but it's something that I'm like, I want to, and I've
That
come to
you're
understand that
currently
as an adult,
that
but
but you're
I've
currently
come to understand it, huh?
yeah, but you're currently moving through it. It sounds,
Yeah,
like
that's
from what you
yeah.
said,
I'm
like you're
I
because you are aware now. And I think that sometimes we're open to receive more than others. And sometimes there has to be more experiences that allow you to be open to receive it. Like
yeah,
we hope that we get it the first time, but it's like, dang, somebody did tell me that like a couple years ago. Like,
yeah.
and here we are.
Well, but you realize, like, I'm like, of course I couldn't accept it then for these following
Right,
reasons, right? Like,
right, right.
again, I feel like it's a muscle you gotta just keep working.
Always.
It's that level of
Yes.
tolerance. Like, I certainly did not have tolerance the way I do now. Like, I couldn't
Yeah.
tolerate anything, which
Yeah.
again, I understand why, like,
Yeah.
what function it served, right?
Right. Hmm.
But I'm glad that now I'm on the other side.
You're right. Awesome.
Better late than never for
Right.
me.
But like you said, it's the muscle that you get to continue to use. So I don't know if there's ever like this mountaintop that you get to and then everything is
Yeah,
good. It's like you just kind of continue to have experiences to use the muscle, but because you've trained, you may not have to do as much exercise for the muscle,
yeah,
as you continue to do life.
yeah.
So so yeah. So what would you tell your younger self about how to best prepare for the future, in this moment?
Don't. And I don't mean like
Yeah.
it's just
No, yeah, yeah, yeah.
maybe don't. Like it's just it's unfortunately, but fortunately, it's just so easy to, like, really a lot of it is making peace with uncertainty, because I think that's
Mhm.
sometimes with a lot of people's anxieties and the way it manifests, especially in relationships, is preparing for, like, doomsday prepping, right?
Yeah.
Doomsday prepping essentially. And I mean, not even in the ways like people I think would think, right? But I mean, in interactions, I have to, like, be on high alert in my close friendships because they're going to hurt me because
Mm,
yesterday I said this, and they're, and a lot of it is like, again, I wish I could, if I could have gone back, I think that would have given me a lot more peace. Like, just
uh,
enough comfort, because now it's been like an aha moment the last 3 years of my life where I'm like, I just wish that I would have had this. And I'm like, oh my gosh. Like, wow. It
uh-huh.
really is that simple. When you just lean in and let
Mhm.
go, you
Yeah.
know, what is it? It's
Like go
let go
figure.
and let God. Yeah, like
Yeah.
just
Just do
I
that. And
promise
that's
you.
yeah.
Like, it will, because a lot of people would tell me that. A lot of people would tell me that. They go, you can go really far. Like, we see you going here, going there, like whatever. And I was just like, no, 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 no. Like, again, that's what, because I do have generalized anxiety. I have anxiety, and I
Uh-huh.
mean, when I have just kind of like really leaned in, or I've let other
Mhm.
people, right, like, kind of leaned into the uncertainty, and even like I'm saying, like when I've said, I'm not gonna lie, I'm really nervous. Here's
Yeah.
why.
Mhm.
Yeah, but Bayla said vulnerability can be scary, but it's definitely a strength. I
Mhm.
mean, it sometimes too, I won't lie, like, something that I've found within myself that I've been, like, striving for years in my younger self, I think I would just tell them, like, "You did it, like, you did allow
Yeah.
yourself to be vulnerable with people. Guess what? You being you were enough, you always
Mhm.
had been enough.
Mhm.
Look at this." Like, I
Yeah.
really, like, 18-year-old me compared to now, and it's not to be so macabre, but, but really, I was like, I don't think after 18 I'll be here. And now I'm like, look at this beautiful life.
Right.
I mean, it was like a flood open. Like I think, especially in my college, my undergraduate years at UNCG, like the people that I met, it completely just opened like a floodgate, you
Mm-hmm.
know.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like for me, it was like the person who I've always been.
Uh-huh.
Again, I know I keep bringing up water, and it's not intentional, but it really was just like, wow, like look at all the shapes I've had in my life.
Right.
Like all the, because I have been this person. I've always been these parts of me. None of them have
Right.
left. Like even the parts of me that I quote unquote hate or despise. That's why I keep. It's more like what function did they serve, and that function
Right.
of myself, that kind of aspect, that figure, like that person who felt that way. I see why you felt you had why you came to fruition, why you manifested. I see
Mm-hmm.
why you did that too, and I see why we've always been here.
Yeah.
We're a familia. We're cool. Like, so yeah, I would have just, I mean, because wow, when I
Uh-huh.
really had this, like I found more success.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't happen quick.
Mm-hmm. It's
Not
work.
easy. It is work, but it is very fruitful.
Definitely. Mm-hmm.
It's very fruitful. That's the best. That's what I would tell myself.
Mm-hmm.
And I think my younger self, I think because we're teenagers, would be like, okay, okay,
Like, what
I
does
guess.
that look like anyway?
Yeah, what does that even look like? You're just saying a lot of words, like.
Right?
Again,
Like,
I can't understand this. Like, it's all like philosophy and idea. Like, can you just show me? I'm like, no, just
But it's like amazing when you do make that decision to let go. I think we all have different areas. I know I have even areas today where it's a little harder for me to let go, even though I know it's better. And even though I've let go before, just rewiring the old tapes or thought processes that usually come up when whatever comes up, and it's like, oh, okay, I get to remember again to just let go because you already know to let go, and
yeah,
it does, get easier. And sometimes it's just more about a breath. And remembering that everything usually works out, because usually it does. It's like for whatever
but
the that happen, they all tend to pass. Like it's like, oh, okay, and then you
yeah,
forget that you
yeah,
even at the moment.
exactly. I think more than anything, definitely. I think to be able to even get in that space, there's like a level of privilege, but it's
Uh-huh.
also like not in a bad way, not like but
Mm,
it is a level of privilege, and is it something you did work for, and it is something that like most Americans I think are just so cut off from because again,
mhm,
it's like you don't have that ability to, you don't have the words to articulate it, to be
mhm,
actually like you were never taught that
mhm,
like um and so when I see other people and they struggle with it, I'm like, I know it'll come, and I know once it comes you're gonna be so like,
mhm.
because I think that's
Right.
definitely it. Like I was definitely in the right direction. I
Uh-huh.
was maybe
Uh-huh.
a long path, but yeah.
I would say when I do that, when I take the different path, I just say I take the scenic route.
Also, I'm gonna use that. That is gonna be in my repertoire now. I take a scenic route. I love that. That's actually phenomenal. I take a scenic route. I have.
Yes.
I always, and in actuality, in the literal form, in the sense, I've always go
Yeah.
up the flight of stairs.
Uh-huh.
Go the extra mile. Like it's
Right.
that thing where
Yeah.
they say, like, we do that. Like it's actually better for you, right?
Yes. Yes.
Person who takes the stairs instead of the elevators, like they've
Uh-huh.
seen the difference in the health, and I'm like, actually, and in
Yeah.
the route that I take, you know what? I did take the scenic route, and
Yeah.
I'm not ashamed of it.
Right.
What shame? I am shameless.
Because for what? For what? What do you think that people would be surprised to know about you?
Everything. Well, that's not really it, but let's see. What would they be surprised about? I think if I'm honest, I don't think people expect me to be me. I
Uh-huh.
think that's the
What?
best way to, I don't think people and you know how tall I am and my stature. Like I think when people see me and there's an assumption
Uh-huh.
when people don't you're gonna see the little one go outside because the train's passing by.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I don't think people expect me to be perhaps like profound or creative or have, and I'm not sure why. I always get that, like I'll talk to Uber drivers and they're like, wow,
Mm-hmm.
this is a really good conversation. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. You know? More
Uh-huh.
than like my life, it's more like kind of the experience that we have together is people are like, I didn't really expect to have that experience. I didn't expect to have that kind of, I think the consideration. I've had even some friends tell me like, oh my gosh, like you actually like, really listen. I'm like, yeah, people are shocked.
It's
Like,
the thing.
I like,
Yeah.
I some of my friends and some of the people in my life, even I think my mom sometimes, there's some things where I'm like, I hope you know that I know you sometimes almost a little bit better than you,
Mm-hmm.
in the sense that like I don't think like people really pay attention to those parts of themselves. Like it's kind of like the
Right.
way same way I feel.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think that's the biggest thing. I just like every time I've had interactions with people are just like
Who knew?
stunned.
Like,
Who
yeah.
knew? Yeah. What like why we're at Thomas Tavern and we're having a conversation about the Bayla was there that night. You remember Bayla? We were having a conversation with this two guys. I mean, but they were trying. It's older men trying to kind of like flaunt or be like, look at me, and
Yeah.
we had. But Bayla and I were tag team, and we're like, yeah, like we're like, oh, it's like, let me buy you a drink, little miss. I'm like, I don't need a drink. I'm with my friend. I
Right.
like to talk to my
Yeah.
friend.
Like,
Oh,
and enjoying my company that I have already.
but when I tell you, they were shocked. They're like, we didn't think this was gonna. I think they thought a reaction, like a volatile reaction, would come out, or like a
Mm-hmm.
get away from me. But it was very much like, no, since you want to talk, and, poking holes in
Let's
there. They're
just,
like, oh,
yeah. Uh-huh.
yeah. Because even in my work, I mean, the career like that I'm in, like the field, like when I talk to other like more seasoned folks, like I think it's again like the whether it's ageism or racism, whatever it
Mhm.
might be, people are just like stunned, and I'm like, you don't think I care about you or the people I work with? Did you expect me to come in and just be like, I don't
Mhm.
care? So
Yeah, I think unfortunately a lot of people have been jaded with the environments that they're in, and that you are vulnerable, compassionate, caring. I don't think that people probably view your age group as being that from a different age group, that I'm in.
I feel
You know,
yeah, I feel like a lot of assumptions because
yeah,
oftentimes maybe this is because I'm so naive, but I take people for who they are
yeah,
and what their actions say. Like if you were to tell me something, I'm going to
mhm,
believe you. I have no reason to not believe you. Now
yeah,
my anxiety in my head is more so thinking like this person thinks this of you, but not like who they are. Like I'm like,
right.
they probably think you're like crazy for having just said this, and then they'll tell me like, no, I don't think you're crazy. I'm like, oh,
And every now and again, people need to hear something that's off the beaten path.
yeah.
You know,
I definitely, yeah. I think that's all. Really, I attribute that to my nana more than anything. We'd go on
yeah,
Greyhounds. Very quick story. We go on Greyhounds all the time because I spent a lot of time in Winston Salem or Philly with her,
uh-huh,
and this woman, I mean, talked to everyone and everybody. If you were a dog, if you were a cat, like it was anything and everyone about. I mean, for her, it was, and I'm not a very religious person, but she was,
mhm,
and I mean, I would just be so in awe because I would expect and get really ashamed because I'm thinking, God, here this woman is, and this little old lady talking about Jesus and all this other stuff. But it was like we would talk about more than just that. Like, I mean,
yeah,
we would be on a Greyhound for hours, going to Philly, and like the people around us and everyone by the end of it knew her name,
right,
Fanny.
yeah,
Bye, Fanny. See you next time.
yeah,
Where's the next time? We just met you. I don't
yeah,
know you. What? But this
yeah,
woman, I mean, could connect with anybody, literally anyone. And
uh-huh,
again, that's why I was like, I think it was very nurtured. And so it's almost like I embody her and I carry her with me, like close to heart in those ways, because it's like a
uh-huh,
reminder. It's a reminder that I'm alive. It's a reminder, people are people. Because I feel like
mhm,
when I'm working and you're on your screen and it's just like it's just like wears you down. It wears you down. And moments like those, I'm like, I feel so invigorated and alive. I'm like,
yeah,
yes, Hector, my Uber from Wilmington. Like, I hope that you and Union are doing great. And I met somebody that happened. Like I just
yeah,
conversation. I'm like, yes, or yeah. One time for my best friend's birthday, I basically debated a bartender at this like sushi place downtown, and
mhm,
I just left the conversation by just saying like, you need to volunteer. You need to get involved in this community. If you're gonna move and you're from North Carolina,
uh-huh,
don't be ashamed of it, right? Like get involved. Because this guy was
mhm,
like, I work for like this, and I do, very. He was just very machismo, very like
mhm,
Eldorado. He just took himself again like too seriously, and
uh-huh,
the reason why was because he was trying to flirt with me and like do something. And my friend, I was like, nah. F all that. I'm like, who are you? I don't
Yeah.
care about that. Who are you? How's your night? Yeah, yeah. Where are you
Yeah.
from? Oh, I'm from the west side of West North Carolina. Oh, that's great. That's great. No, it's not. What?
Uh-huh.
I'm like, I think it is. Why would what?
Uh-huh.
So
Yeah. But I don't think people have that often where you actually go beyond the surface, or you just really question, like, okay, so you made this statement, but what do you mean by it, and who are you,
did
and
you
what was
actually do you actually know what's behind it? Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And have you even thought about it? Or are you just used to saying stuff? Because sometimes people just say things without really thinking about what they're saying, just to say something, you know? So how cool is that they have all of these experiences, that you cultivate these experiences with people that you don't know, and
And they do
they,
it with me too. I love it. I love that they actually engage with me. You know what
yeah,
I mean? Like we
it
have
allows for a
something.
connection, and it allows for like a broadening of perspective for both of you, because now you're in a conversation.
Yeah, a
Yeah.
collaborative conversation.
How about it, right?
Wake it up.
Oh, okay. So, what would you say inspires you?
um, again, I think like yeah, I think Irie. I think Irie, my
Uh huh.
4-year-old.
Uh
I'll be
huh.
honest, I can't even not like every day since having Irie has been something that
Hmm.
I like I have been finding parts of myself that I never knew existed.
Uh huh.
And I think again, maybe you can relate to this. Something my friend Courtney had said, and even my therapist is like, parenting can be so beautiful, but it can be some of the most painful things, not because of what your child does.
Uh
It
huh.
really, honestly, parenting, if I'm going to be honest, never, it's not even about the kid. It's literally
Hmm.
about the world. It's
Uh
about the
huh.
world. It's about the structures we have in place or lack thereof, and really the
Hmm.
environment. Because I think that's oftentimes where we find the most like grief and strife is like it's not even the kid themselves, it's just the world.
Yeah.
As your kid the way they are outside of you, well, the world, what they're
Hmm.
experiencing. And so Irie, I have really been able to step into that fluidity, into that willingness, and to be more receptive because contrary to belief, my parents have cursed me. Wait until the day that you have your child. I cannot wait for it to be a horrible experience. And my pregnancy was not planned,
Hmm.
and I knew that if I ever had a child, because I knew I didn't want to get married. I
Uh huh.
knew that that for me, community, family, friends, like that is what makes me up every day. The
Right.
world, like you, everyone I
Hmm.
care about so deeply. That weight gets me up on my feet, and like
Hmm.
truly, that's my fuel. And so seeing Irie and having Irie, it was just something where I was like, this is a choice. Like
Yeah.
having you is a choice.
Hmm.
I'm choosing you, and I'm choosing you unconditionally. And
Hmm.
so through parenting, sure, it's given me an understanding of, okay, this is what my parents were facing, but it even broadens it even more. And it makes me go, not only you, your
Hmm.
parents, people before you, it's always been there. Sure, I could tire myself out going, well, they just didn't have this, but I'm like, it's a choice at the end of the day.
Right.
Sometimes it is enough just to choose that unconditional love. And it doesn't mean you're going to say the right things. I'm not saying that. Unconditional love is, again, going back to those
Right.
attributes of like, what do we think family and friendship? It's like leaning
Uh huh.
into that unconditional love, the uncertainty, the
Hmm.
being, like, you're going to make a fool out of yourself. That's what love does. You're going to be mean. That's what love is. You're going to be, you know, gritty and again like
Hmm.
that rock, like the world will erode you but you'll change your form. That's what love is just standing in that.
Hmm.
And so what inspires me is Irie's just one tenacity,
Uh huh.
Irie's boldness, you know uh and just this like this fieriness. Irie's an Aries, right? Aries
Uh huh.
sun, uh Scorpio moon,
Uh huh.
and it's just so I mean, feels everything. And it's funny because I look at myself and I am much more calmer, like comparatively to his father and him, like I'm much more calmer. I am
Uh huh.
like the way, like, and look, I will blow my lid off, but the two of them, like specifically Irie, I'm like, wow,
Uh
you
huh.
inspire me to step more into being silly. I have embarrassed myself in public. I have been a parent where Irie's like, let's pretend this, and I'm like, I'm
Okay.
game. What's my
Yeah.
role? What's my title? I'll get on all fours. We're pretending we're. I mean, like seriously, because it's just
Uh-huh.
like I'm not that important, and
Mhm.
this is what's important. Being
Right.
present is important. It's important to
Mhm.
me. It makes me
Right.
happy. That's
Mhm.
why I'm here on earth because I want to experience. I want to collect all the experiences and be happy, be nurtured,
Right.
be fed, be
Uh-huh.
full.
Uh-huh.
And that's what Irie inspires in me. Inspires to live. Inspires to be here daily. I
Mhm.
take a lot of like inspiration on how I react to things through Irie because, even though I was a toddler and you know
Yeah.
how toddlers are,
Childless. Yeah. Uh-huh.
I mean, Irie would just, in moments where we've had our, mommy, that was really mean. I didn't like that. That's not nice to do. I was very vocal.
Mhm.
There's a lot of self agency, self assuredness that I'm like, you're right. I'm able to be there where I'm like, I go from zero and I'm like, oh, you make me want to remember to be here with you. I am
Yeah.
angry. And I'll tell Ira that. I'm like, I'm angry with you, but I love you. It'll never change.
Yeah.
I'll never stop loving you. I'll love you when you're mad at me. Even when Ira's like, I don't want to be with you. Or when Ira's been like, I hate you. And I'm like, I love you even when you hate me.
Yeah.
You inspired me to love everyone else that way. And that's what I'm saying. It's pushed me to really think about my friendships, the people I'm no longer friends with, the people where
Uh-huh.
our friendships have changed, and
Right.
where I'm like, you don't have to be for me, right? Like but I still love you. You don't
Right.
have to be because with Irie, I'm like, if I want to love Irie and have Irie in my life and really like take
Mhm.
you for what you are, you don't have to be anything for me but yourself.
Right. Well, I think that it's awesome that you have allowed space for Irie to talk and to be heard and to be seen and you be present and stretch in ways that sometimes I don't know about you. I know I definitely didn't see when I was being raised. So that you allow for the space for that because Irie is presenting because he feels safe in the space, you know,
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
you've allowed him to be able to say and be and express and everything else. And oh, I love you. And I know that you're upset and that's okay, because it's okay to
Hard.
be upset. All of the emotions that we tend to feel is literally okay. It's just what we do with them. Sometimes it's the problem, but you can have your,
Exactly how you
like,
act.
yeah, but how wonderful it is that you've allowed this space to where whatever, they're feeling, they just say, like, that's it. There's nothing, it's like, oh, okay, well, I'm upset and I'm
Yeah.
angry and I'm this but also probably you get way more hugs. You get probably way more kissing. Yeah,
Irie is like Velcro baby, always Velcro child.
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, so but like that you allow for the space or you have the environment to where that's not whatever the stuff was that may have been yours won't be theirs.
And it's something that is really, it's more than anybody, it's that child. The more
Yeah.
like I mean, like I know I do it, but it's like it really is like it is a commitment. Like it definitely is a commitment. To me, it's
Yeah.
almost how people when they explain marriage, I'm like, that's what this feels like. Not in a weird way, but
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
level
I
of
guess
devotion.
like
Yeah,
you said,
that's weird. That's weird.
like
Marriage. But
yeah.
devotion. There's a level of
Yeah,
devotion.
but
That
there's
almost
another level. Like you're choosing,
yeah.
like you said, it was a choice, and some people choose, and some people take their choosing a little bit more serious, or for whatever. Sometimes the other stuff gets in the way to where the choice doesn't feel as how do I want to say? Um, I don't want to like make anybody feel bad or anything like that, but sometimes people are not as aware. That's what I'll say. To
Yeah, yeah. Or
you
or
know,
it's like they feel it, but they don't step into it for fear. I think sometimes it's something so
yeah,
foreign. And some parents they do because I know it's sometimes I've seen my parents and I'm like, you're almost there, and it's like I'm watching their first steps,
yeah,
parenting my parents. Like here's
right,
how you parent. There's no book. There's
right,
literally no book. You know what parenting is?
exactly.
Literally just stepping into that. It's
Hmm.
understanding this child has a completely different path than the second one or the third one, the first
Yeah,
one.
because
It's
they're
just
all different.
knowing like parent
Yeah,
them the way they need to. This
hmm,
one is extra emotional. Love them in all that glory. Do whatever you need to with that one.
Right.
That one
Yeah.
is very stoic and really independent and kind of just tends to be like, I got that. Take it for what it is. Figure out what their style is.
Yeah.
And so it's really just that is like it's like being able to change your form in any kind of shape. Like it's just that's
Hmm.
what it requires. It's whether it means that you lose in the eyes of your peers, okay, so be
Hmm.
it. Whether it is that somebody in a store is going to say something to you or make a face, okay. Whether that your parent
Yeah.
tells you, well, I didn't do that, or I did that, okay, because it's not
Yeah.
about you,
Right.
not
Yeah.
any of like seriously, and it's something where it's like I've had to work that. I've had to show up
Yeah.
for myself
Of course.
and for
Yeah.
Irie in ways like having Irie, it's helped me be a better friend. It's helped me be a better sister, a better parent, a better partner. It's helped me
Uh-huh.
have better relationships with Irie's dad.
Yeah.
Like, like I've been able to take more. I still struggle. Like I am not perfect by any
Yeah.
means, but
Yeah.
it Irie makes me want to be not perfect,
Hmm.
messy,
Yeah.
chaotic. You know?
Nice.
Yeah.
I don't know. Well, I can't even think of the quote, but it was a quote about not was it nice women barely make history or something along those lines.
Yeah,
But it's like,
yes, well, I think it's not a Zora Neale, but I it's yeah,
yeah,
it kind of,
yeah,
yeah, like is your goal to kind of be like remembered, or yeah, like you're not,
yeah,
it's the whole people like, yeah, nice people, nice women don't make
mhm,
history. Yeah, it's you're
right,
not gonna get anywhere by being nice.
right. So
You're
let's
just
be
you're gonna get walked all over, lose
so enjoy.
opportunities of
Yeah,
yourself. Just enjoy it. Be
yeah,
messy. Be whatever. Like I mean, I think it's kind of like some of our heroes, like especially I think about, especially with authors and the black women that I love in my life, and even my nana. My nana was so flawed,
uh-huh,
but I loved her for it. I loved her for it. She was a
yes,
little nuts. She was a little nuts, but she was amazing,
mm-hmm,
and I love that. I
right,
love, yeah, be a villain in someone's story. Be able to walk away.
yeah,
Have that little quirk. Be a little off-putting, yeah,
yeah,
yeah, because
yeah,
that's why we're here. Like, seriously, like, you know
yeah,
what? Yeah, because it's like I think about it where I'm like, especially the people that we descended from, like, they didn't have that. They literally
uh-huh,
didn't have that. So,
right,
like, now more than ever with censorship, yes,
mm-hmm.
yes.
And like
Not
say
telling you
so,
to, right? Like, I'm not telling you to harm someone. I'm not telling you to
yeah,
be abusive, right? I'm not engaging or but it's again, it is not a crime to be an inconvenience, to be off-putting. It's not a crime to
yeah,
be odd, weird, to be not someone's cup of tea. That
mhm,
is not a crime. You don't get to go to jail for that. No one's gonna throw you in the pen. Like you're
right, yeah. And that's the thing, because it's like, if for all of the different people that are here, it should be insane to think that we will all think, act, want the same thing all the time. That is insane, because
yeah.
we had various life experiences and everything else, and those are the things that make us who we are. So we're not supposed to be just like anybody else, but to be who we are and what we came to be.
Mhm.
So um yeah, I don't know. Bailey, you said I say that all the time. I'm kind of missing what you said or what was said.
Maybe I don't know if Bayla says it's not a crime to be annoying or
Right.
crime to be, I mean, genuinely, it's the most beautiful. That I think is the most beautiful thing possible. I think like the
Right.
best way is just like like our grandparents, our
Hmm.
parents, whether they're seniors, just like look at any senior on this earth, and
Yeah.
like are gonna eat so loud, smack like their tongue. They'll walk in the middle of the street when the lights freaking green, and you're like, and I'm like, you know what? Actually, I think we could all take pointers from these people. I think we could like
Just
genuinely
right.
blow your nose loud. Okay, do it.
Yes. Is there anything that you feel that people tend to misunderstand about you?
Oh, yeah, I think again, my openness, I've had
Uh-huh.
so many people, and I think Bayla's even bared witness to this, like from
Uh-huh.
other people. Oh, she just said this, that people before us were not able to sometimes be themselves. It's okay to be yourself, be mean. That's what I'm saying. I was mean one time. Like it's like that's what I'm saying. Like I think even Bayla's seen this. A lot of my friends have where elementary school, middle school, high school, college, like my work, like I've had
Uh-huh.
some people misconstrue or like characterize me
Mm-hmm.
where I guess again to them, much like all of us, we all have assumptions, we all have traumas. It
Uh-huh.
might hit a soft spot. Maybe a personality reminds you of someone who's hurt you before, where
Right.
they'll kind of characterize me as off-putting. Like I've had people where I remember when I was
Mm-hmm.
21, I had this one friend, and she was going through a lot. She was going through so much, and she needed so much support at the time. And I often think about her. We're not friends anymore, but I often think about her. And
Mm-hmm.
there were some kooky characters that I think were, and I don't like labeling people as awful, but I mean, man, they were pretty awful. They were awful
Yeah.
friends to her, awful people in general, the way that they
Uh-huh.
operate in the
Yeah.
world. And I remember one time this one girl was threatening physical violence.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I was just like, one, be real.
Uh-huh.
I just like, okay, then beat me
And
up. I
then
don't know
yeah.
what to say. And didn't. But yeah, and
Right.
and I just talked to her, and she was like, man, I can't even be mad. I'll never forget that. She's like, I can't even be mad at you because like you're just like so calm and it's like weird. You're so just so weird. Like, why would you be this way when somebody's trying to fight you? And I was just like, because I don't really care. I don't want to
Right.
fight you.
Yeah.
And if I'm honest, this could really be resolved. It really is a non-issue.
Right.
It was something so juvenile. It was something blown out of proportion. I was just like, I don't see how none of you have the foresight or the discernment to kind of recognize what's going on. You
Right.
don't like her, she doesn't like you. End of story.
Yeah. And that's okay.
Okay, wrap it up. Let's continue. It's like a Tuesday night. Like, what are we doing? And it's kind of like people take that and they're so off put.
Yeah.
Like, what?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. If you're gonna do something to me, then do something. There's nothing I can like. I can't stop you from doing that. I
Yeah.
legitimately cannot. And so I'm
Yeah.
like, if we're here, I might as well just talk your ear off. Okay, so
So
why are you so
yeah,
upset?
what's the end game with it?
What is the end game? Is it gonna give you so much? You're gonna be so happy to go to your friends and be like, I beat this person's ass because she's friends or associated with. I don't know. It was like one of those things where it's like, oh, since you're associated with her, I'm
Yeah.
like,
And like, come on now, really.
I mean, well, again, what was the crime? You don't like
Yeah.
her. Like there was nothing. Like again, there was nothing that really warranted this outburst. The
Right.
emotions. Like I really think all of you just need individual therapeutic services.
Uh,
Some of you need perhaps like a grippy sock vacation might be in your cards.
mm-hmm.
Um, because my friend, it's just nothing she did at that time. It was just like this was so not warranted. I mean, they were throwing like like racial epithets, and it was awful. I was like, what the fuck?
What the heck? Yeah.
So that's the biggest thing. I'll never forget that. That has happened multiple times, even like ex
Uh,
friends of mine, where it's like I generally don't care. I generally am not. There's no like level of hate or we
mm-hmm.
fell out, but I really do not like. I mean, some people in my past, like where I'm like, we'll have mutuals, and my friends are like, this person still feels that way, but you're like, I'm like, yeah, because it's not a big deal. It just isn't.
Right. Right.
People are shocked about that. People are in the understanding where it's like nobody will ever change, or like, people are always like, you're either this or that. And so I'm all, and they're
In
like,
the
huh,
yeah.
I'm
Just like
great. I'll tell you, I'm very colorful. Like,
yeah. And I think, I am a person who feels like everybody can. I don't think that everybody chooses, but I know that everybody can. And it's not up to me to decide whether they will or won't choose. I'm
yep.
going to keep open that they might. You know, sometimes you may need to have boundaries. Sometimes it's just okay because they're doing it in their lane anyway. So it doesn't even really matter. But
Exactly. Doesn't really matter. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So, but keeping hope alive, as they say.
That's right, exactly. And you
Yeah,
have to. And I'm like, if not, like, what is life for? Like,
yeah,
it's really easy you can very easily have a narrative of the world that is just so miserable. And I
right.
think about it like too, like the biggest example are, for example, people whether in Iran or Congo or
Hmm.
Gaza, and I'm like, you see how hope has kept them alive. And I'm like, well, if you can do it, I certainly for fuck's sake can too.
Right. Hello.
We inherit this earth together, and you know what? I can. I actually can.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna mess up. I'm going to mess up. My kid is literally gonna that kid's gonna be 21 and come to me and be like, I'm not gonna lie,
Whatever. Yeah. Hello. Because
I'm gonna be like,
because
you know what?
that happens.
You know what? You're right. And
Yeah.
we're here. And
Yeah.
I'll change that. Or I'm glad that
Yeah.
I changed that. Thanks for sharing.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
that's the joy of it all, and that is the, like, you just get to have experiences and learn from them, or take something, or some things you keep, like you
Things
said
you
that
need, yeah.
sometimes, yeah, like, hey, I'm okay. Most people, oh, you okay with being mean? Absolutely. Sometimes it's warranted.
Yeah, actually, because I think people are so afraid of, like, again, it's
Yeah.
like, but my assassination of my character, and I don't want to be mischaracterized, misunderstand. I am a good person. I am a good person. I'm like, you fight so hard to get into the gates of heaven, or you fight so hard to be
Hmm.
in the best eyes. Like, I want people to think the best of me, and I'm like, and what is your purpose in life then? If
Yeah.
not a continuous performance, do you not get exhausted? Do you not get tired? You know
Hmm.
what? My anger is something beautiful. My anger and my rage, because it is creative and it is protective and it is
Uh-huh.
the ground for growth. It's the grounds for truth. My
Hmm.
anger shows so much more than just something that's fleeting.
Right.
My anger is really something just transformative, and it leads into all these other emotions. It's not just anger that comes up. It's not just rage. You know,
Yeah.
it's a beautiful layered cake. It's a beautiful floral arrangement. It is a perfume, like it's something that
All the
is
notes.
very
Yeah.
layered. Yeah. And so to sit here and to like be terrified forever that, well, this person thinks this of me. I mean, again, like I think about all of my friends and everyone. I've recently begun changing a lot of my vocabulary where it's like, do you get what I'm saying? Where I'm like, you know what, I get what I'm saying, or
Mm.
I made sense. I know I made sense. Because it's
Yeah.
like a lot of outsourcing your self
Yeah.
assuredness. And
Hmm.
I'm like, no, I was mean. I can be mean. Maybe I was mean. And
Yeah.
what?
And it's not an assassination of your character if it's the truth. Like, it's like we all have our moments sometimes, and it's like nobody is perfect. And so if you had a moment that maybe you did something shitty, then you did something shitty, and that's okay. Like, you get to
Yeah,
decide what to do with that, but it doesn't
because you
mean that
can't.
it
Yeah,
doesn't exist. Like, we
exactly.
don't want to do that part where it's like, oh, well, because I'm, no, sometimes even us, we do stuff, and it's like, it ain't always good. And so you get to deal with that, because that makes you who you are as well. So you get to
You're
change, or you
textured.
get to quit.
You're textured. Yeah, you're a very
Right.
textured thing. You're a very real thing. And so it's beautiful to be able to have all of that texture. And a painting, like some of the
Hmm.
most amazing pieces have so much texture and just different sensory, right? Like, so yeah, you're right. It's understanding that you really don't get to pick and choose in life. You really don't.
Yeah.
And so it's like once whatever you said comes out,
Yeah. It's
it
out.
might be at your detriment. It's out. It might be the end of the relationship. That
Uh,
person will think you are the worst person in the world. So be it. But do
yeah.
you think that you're going to be the thing that they always think about? Be honest. No.
Not even
They
care.
might even forget about you. They might
Right.
remember the relationship. They might, and honestly, truthfully, as we get older, they'll remember how they felt the most.
But yeah.
What feelings get brought up because of you or because of
Right.
how they chose to even act. So I'm like, ultimately, it's like it's okay, right? Because again, I think it's more important with what do you do? How do you react?
Right.
Like
Absolutely.
that says a lot more. How do you make repair? Are you willing to make repair and amends?
Uh-huh. Hello. Use that muscle.
Exactly. Hello,
Work out.
please. I wish more people would use that because people are so scared. They're like, I don't want to be like, again, humility. They're like, they think humility means you have to grovel. And I'm like,
It's not that.
it's
But
not that.
and it takes a certain individual to be okay with the messy parts. Like, when you do fully embrace all of yourself, it's a different level of confidence. It's a different level of, I think, personal integrity that you end up having, that sometimes people
Ooh,
have
that was personal integrity. Yep.
haven't stretched to yet, is what I'll say.
No, people and sometimes it's like all
Yeah.
these adults. You'll like meet somebody who's 80, who's 75,
Yeah.
who's 65, who's 47. You'll meet all kinds of people of those ages and some of them just again like they skate, like they get close to it and they're like,
It's, when you've been raised a particular way, it's something to realize what you've been taught is a lie. So I think some people struggle with that more than others, because
And
if you
yeah, Yeah.
If you say yes to the one thing, then that means you got to
All of
look at
it.
all of the other stuff. And so
And
I
it
don't
gets
know.
overwhelming. Yep.
Yeah, so I think some people just have a hard time with that, and maybe they will and maybe they won't. I've seen people too. I've been like you, like cheering on. It's like, oh, they're almost there. I could tell breakthrough.
Yep.
And it's like, oh shit, no, I guess maybe
They're
not
about to
today.
get away from it. Yep.
Yeah.
And I've seen plenty of my friends where I'm like, I've been like, this person's gonna get in a relationship and they're gonna realize everything we're talking about. Sure enough, they do. They come back, they go, oh my gosh, I've had like a epiphany. And the
Yeah.
rest of us are like, oh, really?
Yeah.
Mm.
What? Really? Okay.
Or they get a job and they're like, I've realized this about myself. And we're like, huh, who'd have
Yeah.
thought? But
Yeah.
it's again, it's like
It's the
letting
experience.
go of that control and like
Yeah.
you're not this person's manager, this person's parent. Like they
Yeah.
have their own life. They get to make mistakes. They get to be this colorful, textured person, and we get to witness it in all of its beauty. We get to say, I was there. I
Right.
remember I was there, you
Yeah.
know.
And it's
And we
yeah.
can laugh about it, we can cry about it, we can share. You can tell me your perspective. I didn't know that. Wow,
Yeah.
years later, I get to know. Oh, wow, I'm sad to hear it, but okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like
So,
that's what life's about. Because
right.
geez, seriously.
Right. So what would you say that you're the some of the things that you're either proud of or grateful for in this moment?
I am very proud of the way that I have been able to move through. Um, Honestly, like I think one of the things is my co-parenting relationship.
Uh-huh.
My co-parent, I can complain all I want, but he's very committed and devoted
Mm-hmm.
to our child, and so I hope and I pray that a lot of like the advancements we've had and the growth has been because like you're just as tired as I am, kind of thing. Like we're just
Yeah.
tired. Like stop
Like
fighting it. Like,
let's
okay, whatever. We're here. We're gonna have to be stuck with each other for the rest of our lives. So why
right.
not?
Yeah.
Um, so I am very grateful and thankful for that, and how I've
Nice.
been able to like handle that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I think one of the biggest things has just been like humor, just like
Uh-huh.
being like the awkward silence and the awkwardness. And I can
Uh-huh.
tell he's definitely kind of leaned into a little bit more because
Uh-huh.
it was so awkward and both just like, ah, okay,
Yeah.
so I
Yeah.
appreciate that. That's one of the things that I think about. And then another thing is, yeah, recently I think I'm really in love with pushing my boundaries, or not my boundaries, but more like honestly, no, not my boundaries. My boundaries are important, but it's more
Uh-huh.
like I feel like sacrificial, like superficial,
Mm-hmm.
you know,
Just stretching.
commitment. Yeah, I'm just very thankful that I'm stretching. It's like
Yeah.
things where I'm like, I don't want to go out. I want to stay in. No, no, go out. You said you were gonna go out with this person. Go, because everybody knows. I feel like most people know this about me. Is like I'll say yes, let's do all these things, and then I'll get in my head and I'll be like, you could just stay home though. You could just, or you could just, no, go do it, because it's allowed me to be more spontaneous, and it's allowed me to have more experiences or talk to people or meet new people or even get opportunities. Like I've applied to a couple of fellowships or just
Nice.
like that, right? Or
Yeah.
kind of my school where I'm like, no,
Mm-hmm.
you are a social worker. You're going to be a social worker. You are this cultural worker. You are this, this is what
Mm-hmm.
you are. Like lean into that. That's okay. Know who you are. It doesn't make you don't have to self-deprecate anymore. Like that, there's no space for that. That person's there. We
Uh-huh.
love her. We appreciate why you were here, but
Uh-huh.
you are all of this. So I'm really
Right.
thankful to myself, really more than anything.
Yay. Awesome.
I'm very
Yeah.
proud of myself. I'm proud of how I've handled like a move and a new change, like a new career, and
Yay.
yeah. So I'm very
Yay.
thankful, and I'm able to really have this relationship with my co-parent where I really do have a level of appreciation and
Mm-hmm.
for the relationship we have, and I see it because of my kid. Like I really do see it. It
Nice.
made me kind of a believer. Yeah, like I'm like, yeah, like the world is good. The world is
And
every
anything happen.
little for every horrible thing there
Uh-huh.
is something insurmountable that's like good. It's just that
Right.
it's like a canonical angel that the human mind can't understand. I'm like, and that's enough for me. I'm like, that's enough for me.
Yay. Awesome. So what would you say is your go-to that assists you with overcoming challenges?
If I'm really honest, my therapist, Kira, love you,
Okay.
girl. Like,
Amen.
I'm not even gonna lie. My
Uh,
therapist holds me down. When I trip for a bit, and it's a great opportunity, but I trust her enough because like she's instilled so much in me. You know what I mean?
right.
Like I'm like,
Nice.
I do got it. I
Yeah.
got it. I know when she comes back, she's gonna be like, girl, what? Like, yeah,
and
which is good,
you
all good
I
things.
did it. And I did it.
I
And I
did
did
it.
it.
I
Yes.
did it. I'm here.
Yes. How about it?
You always
Yeah.
believed in me, and I appreciate it. So yeah, I really my
Nice.
therapist. She's my go-to. Really, seriously, it's my
Uh,
therapist. It's my prescription for my
uh,
mental illness. It is. But in actuality, no. One of my go-tos, reading and writing. Really, writing has been the biggest thing. Writing more than anything.
okay.
And I thank my nana, but it's every person should be writing. You should be writing. It is a skill. It is a tool that we did not have
Mhm,
previously. It was stripped
mhm.
from us. It is something humans have always done. We've written
Right.
in different forms with hieroglyphics or even like you need to write
Right.
like your life depends on it. Write if it's something stupid. Write the little notes in the list. Write on
Yeah.
a sticky pad. Write on your phone. It's like it
Right.
is something that you need to get out of your head. And
Hmm.
writing can look like painting and drawing. It's just like using your
Yeah.
hands.
Right.
Something that I know for a fact is transformative. That is creative. That is beauty. That is anger. And so these days writing has been something where I'm like I've produced something, and it's something that Dr. Brianna and James recently at Archive had said, where it's like this Western idea that as Black women, you have to be perfect in your, especially like writing. Do you think Toni Morrison or Maya Angelou,
Right.
these
Yeah.
women we like, they were very flawed,
Yeah.
very flawed. Bell Hooks, he's like, hello,
You're right.
like it's good enough. It's literally
Yeah.
that's it.
Yeah.
It's enough. We do not have to like. What are we striving here for? Like it is something that has taken its own life. Like allow it to
To
be
do
its
that.
own. Right?
Yeah.
And so writing has allowed me to process. Writing has allowed me to be in my body,
Uh-huh.
to be present. Because
Yeah.
again, and especially when we think about it, when you think about the different diagnosis and the way that these things function, and especially the more you learn about people in front of you, you're like, yeah, I'm pretty sure I'll go stir crazy if I'm here all day and then
Yeah.
I'm
Hmm.
here all day and then this.
Yeah.
Not a good
Yeah.
combination.
Yeah.
Not a good combination. I could talk all I want. I do a lot of talking, but it's like something about pen to paper. I
Yeah.
mean, the way that we remember things, the way
Exactly.
you do a Sudoku puzzle,
Yeah.
the way if you do a cross puzzle,
Yes. Yeah.
good for you. It's good for you. It's good for you. You can't deny it.
At all. At all. Awesome. Well, that's actually like we're coming to a close, believe it or not. And so, are there any things I want to say thank you? Thank you, thank you, thank you. I don't even know if I started off with thank you, but I want to make sure that I said thank you for your time. Thank you for your wisdom. Thank you for sharing. This has been a blast. I hope you've enjoyed it as well. But
Yeah. Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, So, in closing, is there anything, any words of encouragement or things that you would like to promote at this time as well? So you can promote and then, closing words of encouragement to other people.
So I'd certainly want to promote people and with what's going on in our city, especially if most of us are in North Carolina
Uh huh.
or in Charlotte, North Carolina, it
Hmm.
is very integral that you are aware right now of what is going on politically. And politics do you even if you don't do them,
Uh huh.
because it is more than us as people. And I think it's something that like none of us will be able to strive or even achieve that level of acceptance or oneness if, and we know what's coming. We haven't had a state budget be passed on a
Yeah.
very local level with Charlotte. Right now, an organization in a coalition that I'm part of, Housing Justice Coalition,
Uh huh.
on the 25th, which is Wednesday at, you know, 6:30, I believe, at Latin American Coalition, there is a general meeting, a
Hmm.
general assembly meeting. And so them along with I believe it's West Boulevard Neighborhood Coalition
Okay.
and Mill Creek. I want to say, oh God, what were they called? Um, Essentially, right now with what's going on in the city, there's a couple of things that really impact all of us is in the Southwest side and in the corridor, right in the West. Um, American Airlines, for example, one of the largest, you know, airport traffic, essentially that company has underpaid their staff. A lot of the staff have been able to unionize. And something that I've learned through being with HJC is just how everything is connected. And so things like tonight there was a meeting, and Housing Justice Coalition and a lot of other coalitions and organizers have been working towards stopping the expansion of I-77, of stopping the expansion of American Airlines, because a lot of people don't know this, but American Airlines is the reason why Charlotte's airfare is the most expensive in our entire nation.
Wow.
So we're the most expensive airport, right? Because we'll see the prices, and that's something I didn't realize, and I also have gone through the airport. I've been like, oh my god, these prices are crazy, and I'm like, well, no wonder,
Yes. Yeah. I didn't know that
So,
either. Yeah. I
yeah,
remember.
their contract is up for renewal, and so they're wanting to expand. They're wanting to grow American Airlines, but that means that more forests and even neighborhoods will have to be cut and sold, and in order to build more. And so something I implore is being able to identify who your city council member is, understanding their function, right? Understanding who your county commissioner is, and understanding their function, what they do, the policies they stand on, what kind of informs their decisions. Knowing who your House representative is. We just had voting, and kind of seeing what neighborhood you live in. We need to be able to speak to the people across from us and beside us, because what's going on out in like Iran, for example, like it has everything to do with here. Like gas is up $3. It's gonna go up to $8. It's not like fodder to fear people and to like fear monger, but it's the reality of understanding like the expansion of I-77, how NCDOT, who's in their back pockets. Because it's like, again, like North Carolina is the only state in this country who doesn't have a budget.
Yeah.
And so we know that, there have been things that have been cut. We have Medicaid cuts coming. They're coming. They're going to happen this year. We're going to feel the effects. And so it's like, okay, sure, we can't fix that right now. Like, I can't go up there and be like, okay, we'll stop that, and then it just ends. No, like, okay, but it starts with, like, right now, what's happening right now? Well, I-77, they're trying to expand it. There are neighborhoods, people who own their homes, they're going to have to sell it. The city and NCDOT and the county, like, they have halted it, but they've essentially said that they're still going to do it. So what can we do? These are people's lives. If it was me, I would hope to God that someone would care.
Yeah.
And so it's enough to email your city council member. It's enough to follow HJC, Housing Justice Coalition, and or even to look at Charlotte Observer. Queen City Nerve has written about it. It's enough to look, if you have ever volunteered, right now is the time to keep volunteering and to integrate it into your calendar, integrate it into your life. Instead of treating charity, treat it as if it's like going to the groceries, as if you're pooping. Like, it needs to be made, because that's the only way that we're going to be able to make it through tomorrow. So that's the biggest things that I promote, is especially right now, like seeing after this, okay, there's a City Charlotte forum. Let me go subscribe to like Queen City Nerves newsletter. Let me go look at the, let me, and not only just one outlet, let me look at everything, little by little. And it doesn't mean that you're going to fix it today. It's okay. Like, these things are okay because people have been at this. Like, when I realized that this was something that superseded me, it's been going on since 2015 and before then. Like, these neighborhoods, like meeting these integral people who are organizers, who have been here, and meeting them and speaking with them, and them telling me this is how long we've been working on it. We've been pushing back on NCDOT since this date. I'm like, what?
Wow.
Oh my God. And realizing because of them and their efforts and other people, sure, it's a small but mighty group. I was like, wow. Yeah, we can. We can. So that's one thing. And so, like, in closing, it's just understanding that something I also learned this year is power is a tool, and you have the power. The power is in the narrative. I always think about not Malcolm X, but I always like think about Denzel Washington. I'm like, Malcolm X. I'm like, no. Because of Spike Lee's X. But it was in The Great Debaters. There's a scene where the young characters, if you've ever watched The Great Debaters with Denzel Washington and just Jesse Small. No, not Jesse Small. It was, I forget her name.
I think
Um,
it's this. Yes,
it's
it's the sister.
yep, yep. You know what I'm
Yeah.
talking about. So
Yes. Yeah.
Debaters, it's essentially about this teacher, this professor, this teacher who works with these students, and it's
Mhm.
taking place during segregation and a lot of Jim Crow, and he's trying to essentially talk to the students, and one of them is just heckling him, and he essentially just explains to him that the reason why he's here and his goal is to fortify their minds, right?
Mhm.
Because
Mhm.
once your mind is essentially like broken, tampered with, like you've lost your power. You have
Right.
lost your tool, like that tool of power. And so power is essentially like is something that I think much like money, people are always like very fearful of that, like money and like all, but it's like money is a tool and money is something that we can utilize to help our own communities. And
Right.
more than just like, I have to wait until I'm a millionaire. No, you don't.
Yeah.
No, you don't. No, now is the time. Now
Mhm.
is the time. It's the smallest gestures. And so you have to reclaim your power and understanding that power something in like the narrative and how you view the world, how you think the world. If I think that, we're all gonna, the rapture's coming and the world's gonna end, so who cares? Well, no shit. The rest of the world thinks that nothing's gonna change. But if I
Right.
think one day I might die, whatever I believe in will happen, fine. But
Mhm.
this world is enough, that I'm reclaiming my power. I'm enough. That's reclaiming my power. That's pushing me further to helping the other people around me. So it's
Mhm.
understanding that, in these times where there's so much uncertainty and we are like, well, I can't go across these and end the war. Sure, you can't. But in your neighborhood, you could probably gather a group of people. You could
Mhm.
probably sell a couple of things, send that money to some organization there that's doing the work there. If you
Right.
can't be out on the front lines, you have the power. What can you do? You're in a mom group, you're in a PTO, PTA,
Yeah.
well, that's
Mhm.
your stage. You're
Mhm.
you're somebody who sews clothes. Have you ever thought about sewing? It's that is your
What?
power. That is
Yeah.
enough. It's like we
Mhm.
said earlier, everyone has a function, a place. There is a level of uncertainty, and we must let go. You have
Mhm.
to let go, and you have to reclaim what you can control, which is yourself, your mind,
Mhm.
your actions.
Right.
That the sooner you get with the program and get with that, the sooner it gets easier. Everything.
Yes.
And so I would say
Awesome.
that's my closing words. And you do have control of your life, or of your
Mhm.
emotions, of your feelings.
Mhm.
And it is, if you're gonna really succumb to this narrative that it's like, again, like look at Trump and like everything that's happening and all these horrible things, and you just like
Yeah.
nothing's good and nothing's working. Okay, that is your choice. That's fine. But I'll believe for you, and I hope you join me in believing
Right.
it is worth it. I
Yeah.
am powerful. I am valuable. I don't
I,
need to be valuable based on the work that I do, although the work I produce is phenomenal.
uh-huh. Go ahead.
We produce a lot of phenomenal work. Okay,
Yeah.
we're definitely, but it is enough, just that because it's enough, just
Right.
because it, right? And so,
Awesome.
yeah, that's
Thank you. Thank you. We have Xavier Black. Thank you. Great show, ladies.
thank
Um,
you. Thank you.
yeah. Yes. So
Thank you for
we're
yeah, thank you for giving me your time too. And now 30
oh,
minutes of yapping. It's been great. It's been phenomenal, actually.
yay. That is my goal. That people have great experiences, that people share, because usually we always connect when we hear stories. Like when we hear other people experience, um, we learn, we relate to a lot of things. And we don't feel so alone, and we don't feel like we're by ourselves, because we have all of these things. It's like, oh, well, who knew someone else felt like that? So I think just having real conversations with real people, everyone has so much wisdom, and there's always so much to learn. And I want to always stay open to learning more. And
Exactly.
I've, have had these experiences with, you and other phenomenal people. And like, yeah, I'm just happy as well. I'm just happy. So thank you so much. And Miss Jocelyn, oh, M. Jocelyn, thank you.
Yes, Bela. Sorry, I was like,
All
so
right, so we are coming to a close. If anyone has anything else, you can put in the comment. If anyone else is interested in being on, you can send me a message as well. I have Instagram, and you are Planet Gabby on Instagram.
Planeta Gaby. Yep. PLANETA GABY. Yep. Yep. Yep.
Right.
Yep.
Okay. And so thank you all for joining. The replay will be on YouTube, and you all have a great night. Peace.
Bye.